Your mic's on. Beautiful.
We're mic'd. Oh, I definitely got some clipping going on here.
Yes, you got clippage. Okay, well, we're going to straighten that out. Has somebody been fooling with the knoberinos?
You never know. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. There you go. That's better.
Hello. Hey, hi.
Yeah, somebody had the gain turned all the way up. My friend.
Gainer's terrible.
My buddy, the gainer, doing a half
gainer. Sneak in here again?
And then they wonder why things don't work.
Yeah. I'm wondering why.
Yeah,
I'm only here once in a while.
Well, I'm not wondering why. I know why, because people touch stuff.
Don't touch. You come in here, don't touch.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch this.
Anyway, my name is Paul Gillemere. This is your city, your voice coming to you live. Hello out there, everybody in Videoland. This gentleman right here, superstar of the radio and airwaves, Peter Dychtiar, in the house today. Thanks for tuning into the show. And we're going to be talking about some really, really good stuff today. We're going to be hammering some people here.
Hammer time.
It's hammer time. No holds barred hammer time. And you know what? Before I do that, though, I definitely have to take care of some housekeeping here. And that housekeeping has to do with my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Now, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. It's 90 degrees out here at 9 in the morning. When you jump in your car, Peter, your air conditioning better be working. And if it isn't, you better go to see Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Ken Hunter will put your car on a diagnostic piece of equipment. He'll analyze what's wrong with your car. And at the end of the day, you're going to be happy. We're going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy because your car is going to be running good.
And you'll be the coolest person in town.
Just like you with those glasses on. There you go. Hey, and you know what? Did you ever break down with your wife and kids in the car? And they're screaming and yelling. Your wife's nagging at you, calling you a dummy because you didn't take it in and get it checked out before you left. Take it to Wild Bill's. Be proactive. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had that problem because I always thought about having my vehicle in good order. So
you're a smart man, and I always knew you were. and so go see Wild Bill. Go see Ken Hunter. He's going to take care of you. Be proactive. Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Tell them Paul from your city, your voice, sent you. And we'll get to our other sponsor halfway through the show. Now, you know what? We're going to talk about some
Look at the show prep. I didn't do any show prep. I just did a couple scribbles and stuff. That was it.
Some of us.
Because at our age, it's hard to remember things, right?
Well, I just want to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I know where I've been.
Well, we know where we're going, yeah.
Yeah, I know where I've been, but I don't know where I'm going. So I like to have a little roadmap here just so that we can discuss stuff and move in a logical fashion so our fans can figure out what the hell we're doing here. And sometimes I wonder what the hell I'm doing here.
I just come because you said, you want to come? I said, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
Peter's great when he comes in. And we're going to talk about this.
Well, first, before we get in heavy.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to get heavy. 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
I walked into Walmart.
Yes.
And what I see hanging from the rafters? Back to school.
Already.
Today, on the way in here, on the radio. Hey, it's time for back to school. Come on. Do you remember when you were a kid? It was the worst word you ever heard in your life. And that was the end, like the middle of August, it would start back to school. Now, I guess you got to be the first kid on the block to have your next, it'll be Christmas, back to school.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I waved because that was Gary Wilkins. He said to say hello to you.
Hi, Gary.
He just walked down and he's said to have a good show. I know back to school comes early. And then you know what happens after back to school?
Christmas.
Yeah,
it's wrong.
They're already starting it. It never ends. It never ends. They're always pushing something.
Let kids be kids. See, let kids be kids. Let them enjoy the summer. Don't remind them of school. They just got out.
Well, I'm going to remind you of something even worse than that in about half an hour here. And we're going to talk about that. But first, we have to talk about the Satanic Olympics. Yeah. The perverted Satanic Olympics. Peter, I saw this. I was beside myself. I mean, the Olympics are supposed to be sports where people are running and jumping, and it's supposed to be a uniting thing where everybody gets together to celebrate sport. There's no color, there's no race, there's no nothing. It's all about unification of the world in one thing.
A healing. It was a healing.
That's right. Yeah. It was. Every 4 years. So every 4 years for summer, every 4 years for winter. They're staggered by 2 years, right? So you expect to see this. So what do we get? We get some goofball with his nutsack hanging out. We get a bunch of transgenders depicting the Last Supper. Can you imagine if they did something about Allah
or had a bouncing Buddha walking around and it looked like Ronald
and
McDonald?
somebody hitting him with a friggin' baseball bat
Yeah.
in one of those bubble outfits?
It would never happen.
It would never happen. And
Never.
you know what? This is sickening. I'm boycotting every company that has anything to do with this. And the tech giant C Spires has already pulled their advertising, but other biggies such as Samsung, Alibaba, Airbnb, Coca-Cola, Bridgestone, Intel, Omega Watches, Procter & Gamble, Toyota, and Visa were not opposed to the bizarre woke agenda of these Olympics.
Procter & Gamble is okay with it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, they're satanic. They got the half moon and all the stars.
Yeah.
They're really bad. The only one maybe worse is Pfizer and Procter and Johnson & Johnson, maybe. I don't know.
You know, ugly, unattractive sexualization propaganda. That's what it was. There's the athletes. I can tell you right now, as a Christian, and I'm no Bible thumper, but I love God, I love Christ. I can tell you right now, I would have walked. I would have walked out of there. I would have left that stadium, walked out of there. And I understand it's, I've heard so many people say, as a matter of fact, I talked to my priest over the weekend, it's okay to watch the athletes. I said, no, it's not, Father. I said, the whole thing is about God, about Jesus, okay? He was just mocked, and everybody sat there and watched. And I mean, you heard, it's such a great show, put a great show together, right? It was a total mocking of Christianity. It had no place there whatsoever. And what is it? 2.6 billion Christians around the world?
Yeah.
Okay, over a fifth of the population of the world. And for the most part, other than that, I got to give the people in Paris credit. They had a massive prayer session, just absolutely filled the streets after what happened there. And we in North America, I don't know what it is about our Christianity and our faith, right? We bow our heads, stick it in the soil and hope it goes by. We go to church and we wear our nice clothes and we look up and we take our communion. But it's almost like it's about me. It's about me. And the reality is it's about God. And he was just mocked horribly in front of the world on the world stage. And now, of course, they're trying to backtrack.
Yes, they're backpedaling.
Their big apology and the waddling baboon who was playing Jesus, who also said, after that was over, he said, this is the new gay testament, okay? Now he's saying he wasn't portraying Jesus. Why is that? You were portraying Jesus. That was the Last Supper, and there's no doubt.
Peter, right in the middle with a big halo around his head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not portraying Jesus. She was portraying three Jesuses, whatever it was, because that's the size of it. I just don't get it. I don't get it, this woke agenda. I mean, it's one thing, behind the scenes and everything. But when they put it right in your face and bring it to the forefront, and it's done on purpose. This isn't done just by, we made a mistake. It was Dionysius and the Greeks and all this other baloney.
Hey, that's what they tried to say now.
Yeah, nonsense. This is all pre-planned. This is the woke agenda. This is them trying to divide and separate, right? And why would they do this to represent 1.5% of the population when 98.5% is straight?
Because they made the mistake of thinking they've actually, after the scamdemic and stuff and all the stuff they've done to us, the lockdowns and how they've treated us and make us accept things that we don't accept. They figured we're at that point where they could do anything they want. They made a mistake, miscalculation. We're not even anywhere close to that. And, I was watching Harris Faulkner on Fox, and she said it best. She said the IOC has a disease and it is hateful, and we hope it doesn't spread to the athletes. And that's the fear. It's like it's spreading in schools. Now you start to condition these athletes to believe this kind of stuff. It has no business there. How many times were you told in the last 20 years that religion and the state don't belong together? Well, guess what? Then religion and the athleticism of the world doesn't belong together. Now it does, but the reality is not to be mocked. No religion should be mocked on the open stage like that, on a forum where I love the Olympics. I love to watch them. I will not watch them. I'll never watch another one again until this gets straightened out.
Yeah, I quit watching the Olympics years ago. I never liked them. I never liked the whole scene, But this one it puts the icing on the cake. I mean, this is the icing on the cake right here. This is the worst of the worst, and I won't watch them. I never have, and this just really, really, I mean, it takes the cake. And
look at the NFL. Look at their halftime stuff, right? I mean, you see the stuff that goes on at those at big events, Hollywood and their big events. It's all about satanic. It's all about Beelzebub. And half the time, I don't think people understand what they're actually watching. It is satanic, and that is a religion. What you saw on there is a religion. They have the right to stand up in front of the world and make their statements. We don't. And we need to. We need to open our mouths now. It's time now to stand up for what you believe in. Don't be afraid. Stand up for what you believe in. And if you don't do it, this world's in big trouble because secularism wants no competition. They don't want competition. Let's get that straight. They want you done, quiet, and you do what you're told. It's communism. And what does communism do? God is out. Government is in. We are your God.
And then once they take control, you know what happens to the gays and the transgenders?
That's the secret that a lot of people don't understand.
Exactly.
Or people who've been infiltrating a country to corrupt and then get everybody hating each other and then screwing up the populations and the cultures that were created. Guess what happens then? They all disappear because they've been used for what they need to get done.
Exactly. Like Joe Biden.
You know what? Christians, wake up. Wake up before it's too late because we're on that precipice right now.
They're after us.
Yeah.
They're after us. And guess what? If you're a Christian, boycott these things and open up your eyes and see what's going on here.
But I will say this. I will say that was actually a good thing.
Yeah, it opened up people's eyes.
Yeah, it's exposing.
It woke them up.
And I know several people right now, who just said, one person I never thought would ever say it, saying, I'm taking my kids and family back to church, where I started a long time ago and walked away. I'm coming back. I've heard that from 4 or 5 people over the weekend now. And that's great news.
They see what's going on all over the world, right? And, I think a fitting ending, closing ceremonies. You know who should be the host of the closing ceremonies?
God. No, God.
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
You want to get them. You want to get the guys pissed off. Get Salman Rushdie to give a speech. They tried to kill him a few times.
There's no fixing this. There is no fixing this.
No,
there's no fixing it.
No, there's nothing they can do now. They put it in your face, and it was by plan, just like all the commercials on TV and all this trans thing. And if you don't like the Olympics, you know what? You're a transphobe, and you're a racist, and you're everything else. That's what they'll say.
Listen. Nobody cares what you do in your bedroom. Nobody cares what you do in a place like a bar or an entertainment center where, kids aren't involved and you want to do your thing and people want to go watch it. Knock yourselves out. Have a great time. Don't bring it to the world like this is normal. It is not normal. Okay. It's like a couple of heterosexuals standing out in the middle of Queen Street and doing what they like to do, right? Is that normal?
No.
It's not normal.
I don't condone that either.
Yeah.
Right. But it's really funny that they are trying to mainstream it, just like they do in all the commercials and everything else. They try to mainstream it, and they're pushing it until you become so desensitized to what's actually going on that you don't even find it in the least bit offensive or vulgar or anything else.
It just astounds me what they think they can get away with. And for the most part, a lot of people have been stupid and ignorant over the last 4 or 5 years. They're not stupid. They're starting to wake up. They're not being fooled by you anymore. And just as the folks who are standing on stage at the Olympic opening have their rights, we have our rights. Don't forget that. And you don't have to hide behind it. If you're a white person, you're a black person, a person of color, you don't have to hide behind your beliefs. And it's okay to open your mouth and say what you believe. I had a great conversation about Trump and what's going on in the assassination attempt with a guy who's an absolute left as far as you can go left, Canadian, but right into American politics. But we had a conversation, and we had a good conversation where I gave points. He had no points, obviously, because he was talking about Biden. And in the end, it was a good, healthy conversation. And in the end, he said, you know what? I got to tell you, I've taken some of your points and I've thought about it. Now, that's how we get through this stuff. We don't have, not in a million years would I sit on an Olympic committee and go, geez, that's a great idea. People are going to love that. It's going to look amazing. It's going to go with the athletes. And did you see the television coverage? Here you go. Here's where you try to mix this stuff together and show everybody it's normal. You're showing faces of beautiful young athletes, all in great shape, back to the stage. And these people who are not good-looking people, dressed the way they are, back and forth, they don't go together. They never, ever will. And these people have spent their lives. They gave up their teenagehood and everything else to be what they are, to be the best in the world. And I don't care if you're the last place person in the Olympics, you are amongst the best of the world.
Yes.
And unfortunately, again, if you're a Christian, sometimes you have to give things up for God. And if that means you had to walk out of that stadium, then you walk out. That means you don't watch it on TV. You don't watch it. And I know a lot of people say that's extreme, and you can have your beliefs in that, but it'll never stop unless you stand up.
True enough.
And you have to make a sacrifice.
But what was the point of Nutsack Man? Like what? I mean, this other stuff is bad enough. Then they got this guy prancing around with his jigglers jiggling.
Yeah.
The family jewels exposed, airing them out.
I don't think they're family jewels, but his jewels.
But what the hell was that? Why was that guy there? He's from France. He's a noted dancer in that, is celebrated dancer. But like, what was the purpose of that?
And they talk about
get it.
France being woke and stuff like that. But they have one of the biggest Catholic populations. Notre Dame is sitting, right down the middle of the Seine there. I mean, come on, there is so much wrong with this that, it's almost to the point where the Olympics should have been shut down this year, and people should have walked. And that would have taught them a lesson.
Well, if they would have announced this is their opening ceremony,
yeah.
And for me, it was bad enough with Celine Dion there. That made me not watch it in itself, right? I'm not a big
fan of the top of the tower,
because she sold her soul too, right?
Yeah, when she was doing the stuff with the kids' clothes and stuff, it was horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely horrible.
So,
but for you folks out there who said, "Oh, there's a Christian shooting his mouth off," a couple of Christians shooting their mouths off, I want to tell you something. If they come after us, it just shows they're going to come after you. And when they get what they want, you're no longer an issue. They don't need you, and they will come at you too. And so many people during the pandemic, the scamdemic, right? We're all on one side, and then all of a sudden they're starting to come back to the right side.
Yes.
Starting to see what's going on. But understand, all they were trying to do is take us all, throw us into this big line of fear, and we're supposed to stand there and go, "Yes, master. What should we do?" "Yes, master." "No, it's no, master. This is, you work for us." Period. And the globalists, they need to be shut down. And they need to be shut down hard. And governments can do that.
If you have the right people leading it, but when you have globalists in charge, like Trudeau and Biden and this Kamala Harris,
oh man,
knee-pad Nancy. I mean, what what do you expect? This is what you're going to get. They were put there. They were bought and paid for. I mean, they're gonna run the agenda as long as they can and as hard as they can. Or else.
Listen, if you're on the left side and you're sitting here in Canada and you hate Trump, and I've heard so many Trump haters and stuff like that, and again, get away from his face and sometimes what he says. The guy ran a great country, and it was in great shape, and it helped our country. Now you've got somebody, they are liars, okay? They are proven liars. You can't deny it. I don't care what side you're on. Kamala, Obama, Michael Douglas, the actors of Hollywood, also, he is as sharp as a tack. Absolute 100% lied straight to your face, and now it's okay. Now she's a hero. Now she's the best thing that ever happened. And here we go again with DEI, right? She's a woman. She's of color. She'll be the first person of color and a female in president. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing.
The best person has to be in that position, or you get what you got over the last 3.5 years.
Yeah, well, when you're dealing with DEI people, right?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with that, then that's what you get. You get Kamala Harris and other less than, and you get these Secret Service who can't protect the president. They're there because of the inclusion and equity and whatever the D stands for, diversity. Okay, so diversity, inclusion, equity, and inclusion. Right? That's why they're there. A 5-foot woman trying to protect a 6'3" guy from a sniper. How's that going to work out? But she's there.
You see, here's the thing. I should be at the Olympics right now. I should be allowed to compete.
Sure, why not?
Equity, right?
Yeah,
I should be allowed to be there.
Yeah, I can't run, but
let me in.
But let me in. I'm equal.
But it's the same thing.
It is.
It doesn't work. You need the best. Look, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. I care for the person who can do the best job at the time. The person that can pull me out of the fire. The person that can stop that person shooting at my family. The person that can run a country. The person that can run the military and make sure that we're in charge and protected. You want the best of the best at any job. Now, are there jobs where you can fill in people? Of course there is. There's places for that. But the reality is, in positions that really, really count, positions of protection, positions of people running your government, it has to be the best of the best. And don't base it on, it's our first woman. It's our first gay guy that's the head of the country. It doesn't matter.
Well, you know what I would like? Biden What I would like to see is all the people who supported Biden, saying he's sharp as a tack and everything, on a plane and let Biden fly it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Put George Clooney at the front.
Yeah, exactly. He can be the co-pilot. Then he wasn't a co-pilot in some movie, but like let's face it, this guy can't even run his day-to-day life. Never mind run the count. And now we've got big happenings going on in the world. We've got Hezbollah on the weekend shooting off rockets, killing 12 kids on a soccer field in Israel. And Netanyahu is going to retaliate, and people figure it's within 48 hours. Well, their 48 hours is up, so it could be any minute now. While we're sitting here, they could be bombing the heck out of Lebanon, southern Lebanon, and Hezbollah. I mean, this is a big thing. And the president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world, doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
And Kamala, they asked her about the border. She's supposed to be the border czar.
Which she denies now.
Well, now she does.
Yeah.
But it's on tape. But you know what? She says, they said, "You never been to the border?" And she goes, "Well, I've never been to Europe neither." You mean to tell me the vice president of the country, where in Europe where there's war every day in Ukraine and Russia, she's never been there?
She's the worst vice president of all time.
Absolutely. Her approval rating is like 17%. She couldn't even make it to Iowa when she ran for president.
Yeah.
Like, she is a non-entity. Now they're pushing her up and putting her up. They're coronating her without and they call Trump, saying Trump's going to take away democracy.
Yeah. Your democracy is in peril right now
with Trump.
What do you think you just had there? That's a dictatorship. You're right. They've crowned her as president. Crowned her. No, she didn't get voted as VP. She's not getting voted in as the nominee. Yet she's there. And she is just loving it.
And she never even...
But, when you think about it, though, Venn diagrams and electric buses that you can plug in your phones, I've been seeing that lately.
It's kind of just love Venn diagrams.
She's not cackling as much. She's got an anti-cackle in there.
Well, they probably told her, cool it, honey, because your Venn diagrams don't work. And you know what? It's the 4th of July. And why do we celebrate the 4th of July? Because it's on the 4th of July. She sounds like a Seinfeld skit. Subways? What are subways? There's no subs.
It's worse than being in kindergarten. Like when Jill Biden.
It really is.
Joey, you did a great job. You answered all the questions, Joey. And you didn't wet your diapers. We didn't have to change you. And then he looks at her like, oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. It's terrible. What a joke. What a mockery.
It is.
You've been lied to straight up. It's treason. It's nothing more than treason.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
They've lied about Biden.
Taking over a country.
Yeah. They lied about Biden since day one.
Every day I wake up and I go, this isn't really happening, right? I've just dreamt this all and everything's going to be, I don't even want to say the word normal. I hate the word normal now and I hate the word science.
Well, what is normal anymore? That's the question.
Yeah.
Like when we look at what's going on in the world right now, none of this is normal. It was normal when Trump was running it. I mean, other than the circus around Trump from the left-wing radicals who tried to impeach him twice and indict him 4 times. And, like from the minute he came down that escalator and said, I'm running for president, they never left him alone. That was the circus.
Just take the fake dossier. Let's take the fake dossier, which cost the Hillary campaign and company $10 million. Is that not treason?
Yep.
And then she obviously had a pile of information on her phone and all of her computers and stuff, which she was subpoenaed to bring in, all bleached, crushed, never a problem. But Hunter Biden, always protected. They had 51 agents say that was Russian disinformation. Those people should be immediately fired and their pensions, if they have them, taken away.
And head of the FBI should be in jail.
Yeah, 100%. They've got a big problem in their 3-letter agencies.
Yeah, well, Kamala's on a honeymoon right now. When you look at it, she really is, because she said she's running, and they've anointed her as the chosen one. I saw the white smoke coming out of the White House. Like when they elect the Pope, right? Saw the white smoke.
Speaking of the Pope, before we go, where has the Pope been making a comment on what happened at the Olympics? Where are you, Pope?
Yeah, where's the Pope on this?
Yeah.
Well, he's the biggest backer of this kind of crap.
Unbelievable.
This guy is the devil Pope. Isn't he supposed to be the last Pope before the end of the world, the apocalypse?
That's what they say. And you know what? he should have stood up immediately and had the window open and made a comment on that immediately. No word. But there's an incredible bishop over there in the U.S. who said what he had to say. Love him for it.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, yeah, where's the Pope in all this? Where's the Pope in anything, to be honest with you? Is he even alive?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Could be AI. He did disappear up when he was talking to the square. Did you see that one time? He was having a conversation to the square, and all of a sudden he kind of like, and he was gone.
It was probably or what do you call it? Holograph?
It could have been, and somebody shut it off too early, and at the time he said that Jesus was a sinner, and the banner blew right over the top of his head. So I just a pile of things over there, but that guy should have made a statement, and it's no different than let's go back to looking at Obama, not saying anything about Kamala. I think Joe Biden or his people said, "Hey, let's get Obama. He wants me out. He's gonna have the 25th, plead the 25th on me. Okay, I'm gonna stand up and say, she's my gal. She's the prez." And I think he threw them in for a loop, not figuring that was going to happen, right? And so now they're caught.
Yeah, they're caught with her. And you know what? I think at the end of the day here, I don't think Biden's going to make it to November 5th, like as vice president.
I don't think he did. Did you see it? Did you see it
dead
after the Oval Office where he was tanned? He looked like Trump 2. Okay. Weekend at Bernie's 2 with Trump 2 all mixed in one.
Yeah.
And then he walks out after, and like there's a pile of people, which you don't see, cheering for him in front of the White House, right? And he's like 6'4" and he's walking nice. Like I go, okay, this guy grew. Yeah, it's not. They say it's Jim Carrey. I don't know who it is, but it is not Joe Biden.
Jim Carrey.
That's the big thing going around, saying it's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he does that skit. He does look like him, and he can act like him. That's for sure.
So, he had that thing in Vegas where supposedly he was taken to hospital. Something stinks here. Something stinks so bad.
Well, he was going to the Vegas hospital. That's where the motorcade was going. It was redirected to the airport. He jumped on a plane and flew to Delaware right away. So
probably
he was in some kind of medical
speeds beyond what that plane was supposed to go, because they said it was shuddering as it was flying.
Yeah, well, we've heard this before about Joe Biden having a medical emergency on the plane, right?
Yeah.
That was reported, and then it was retracted. Nobody said anything more about it. So this guy is not in good shape. He could even be dead. We don't know, because these guys are a bunch of liars, and they lie about everything. They said he was sharp as a tack 2 weeks, 3 weeks before he stepped down.
That was their big line, right? Got out there, the big propaganda. Sharp as a tack.
Yeah, sharp as a tack. When he gets in meetings, he takes them over. This guy, you saw him at the debate. That's the real Joe Biden. That's his attention span. He don't know where he is. He don't know what he's talking about. And
could you see him in a meeting, right? They're all there, the whole administration. He's sleeping. They go, just let him sleep. Let him sleep. We'll get through the meeting.
We'll get through the meeting. Is he asleep yet? But what really gets me is here they are, these Democrats. They say Trump paid off a hooker.
Yeah.
But they're going to vote for an ex-hooker to be president.
Yeah. Yeah, who has a history. And, did you see when she was mocking the new vice president
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance. And she was saying that, it was a great story. It was touching when he talked at the RNC, right, about his life and where he came from. And then she tries to equate that to him, the 2025, what do they call it? 2025 something, right? And he goes,
"Oh, the Agenda 2025."
Agenda 2025, which Trump says, I don't know. I've never even heard of this thing, right?
Yeah.
And what is the Agenda 2025, Kamala? What is it? Tell us what it is, right? But then he said, really? You listened to the story. He went back at her hard and said,
"Oh, yeah.
Did you serve? Did you go to Iraq? What have you done for this country? Other than you've opened up the doors and let an invasion take place because you were in charge."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He gave it to her real bad.
Yeah.
He goes, I served my country. I fought in Iraq. Our president took a bullet for democracy.
Yes.
And you're telling us about that we've done nothing for the country? She's done absolutely nothing. I defy anybody.
Well, I wouldn't say she's done nothing. She's done a lot of bad stuff.
Bad stuff, yeah. Show up at the borders and everything else. But anything good for the country, she's done absolutely nothing.
She
in
can,
4 years,
yeah,
nothing.
she has no claim to nothing other than she's destroying her own country. Who was it that wanted to just let people go? Black Lives Matter, all this stuff, destroying stuff, breaking windows, stealing jewelry, all that stuff. You can't forget that stuff. Okay.
She was the one.
The rule of law, there wasn't any because they wanted everybody to be fighting against each other, hating each other, so they could again be the saviors and save it. That all happened during Kamala's reign, and that's what she's going to do now. She's going to. Can you imagine her as president? Where do you go? Where do you hide?
Well,
we got Bimbolino over here, and her. What's going to happen?
It's going to be a disaster. Well, she was the one that promoted and campaigned for the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Yep.
And they were the ones who took all the Black Lives Matter guys that were trying to burn down Minnesota, right? And she helped raise money for them to get them out of jail after they looted and rioted and burned and killed people. She was the main proponent of raising money to get them bailed so they could get out of jail.
And do you remember Chris
That's
Cuomo?
What she did.
Remember Chris Cuomo?
Yeah.
Who's trying to be the nice guy
yeah.
who's neutral now? What did he say? Well, who said riots have to be peaceful?
Yeah, I know. I know. They talk about January 6th.
Oh, man.
And she actually raised money to get the criminals out of jail. That's what she is. She's a left-wing radical like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Bernie Sanders. These are communists. They want to take over this country. No, well, not Canada, but it's already taken over. But the United States, and they want to run it like a communist country. She's the worst. And if she gets in, let me put it this way. Do you think the last 4 years have been bad? Here, hold my beer because you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen hell yet because that's what's coming.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I don't understand the deception. I don't understand when they go to these polls and numbers and say, Trump's ahead by a point. How's that even possible? How can he be ahead by just a point?
Oh, he's not. She got a little bit of a lift because at the end of the day, it was just this Biden's out, the new exciting person, Kamala Harris, who's done absolutely nothing. She's going to be the one, and she'll get a little bit of a pump for a week or two. But at the end of the day, she has the same platform as Joe Biden. She's run by the same people as Joe Biden, and nothing will change the United States except it's going to go downhill further, and China's going to invade Taiwan and the Philippines, and everything's going to go to hell. Iran's going to have a nuclear weapon, and they're going to start launching them and blowing them up, and you watch what's going to happen if she gets in, because that no matter who they elect from the Democrats, they all have the same platform. I don't care if it's Kelly, Shapiro, you name it. But Buttigieg or whatever his name is there.
Buttigieg.
Oh, did you see that picture of him nursing his kid with that thing you put over your shoulder?
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
Are you kidding me? This is the kind of.
Don't forget Shifty Schiff.
Shifty Schiff, another one. He should be in jail. Shifty Schiff. But yeah, that's what's going on down there. And I'm telling you, this next 3 months running up to November 5th is going to be very, very interesting. And August 19th is the Democratic National Convention. And get this, it's in Chicago. Do you remember what happened in 1968 at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago when Lyndon Johnson stepped down? That they had to hire, they're going to elect a new leader for the Democrats, which was, I think, Hubert Humphrey when he ran against Nixon. Can you imagine what's going to happen in Chicago on August 19th?
It's going to be insane.
All the Palestinians, they're protesting, yelling and screaming, blocking bridges, blocking roads.
People with guns killing people like they do every weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, it could get as bad as the riots of 68 when they had their convention. It was just a nightmare. Look it up. If you don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, look it up and have a look. And then Beetlejuice set the stage for it when she was mayor. Or he, or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah. Just letting all the criminals have their way. They don't arrest people. There's more murders there in a weekend. And they talk about AR-15s killing people. They might have killed 20 people all year, but
by the way,
that's a bad weekend.
Don't they have a gun law in Chicago?
Well, they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Toughest in the States.
Illinois, right?
Yeah, don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter. Gun laws don't matter. Yeah. Crooks don't believe in gun laws. I mean, there's a law against murder. You're not allowed to murder people. And the crooks don't care about that. You think they're going to care about guns and having legal handguns and registering their guns? All you do is take it away from innocent people. Now, I was watching the hearings on the FBI directors and that this morning about the assassination attempt.
Yeah, and which they're quelling in the social media.
Yeah. The Republicans were talking about what happened. We want to know. We want to correct this. We want it to never happen again. It shouldn't happen in the first place. By the way, you know what the Democrats were talking about? Gun control.
Yeah.
Gun control. If you
So
didn't
that's
have
why
a
it
gun,
happened,
you
right?
wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. So
Like, see that they use every instance like this. It's not about the failure of the Secret Service and how bad they handled this. It's about gun control. It's about gun control for them. That's all it's about.
and why? For your safety? No.
No.
It's because they don't want you protecting yourself.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, how can you take an assassination of and that'd be like when Kennedy got assassinated. It was all about gun control. Oswald got the gun, or whoever shot CIA.
It wasn't Oswald.
But there, you know, never mind the assassination. The guy got killed in that. If there wasn't guns, he wouldn't have got killed. I mean, how can they justify this view in the face of an assassination attempt?
I don't think that any of these people understand that are sitting at the top. You're just pawns. When they don't need you, they'll get rid of you. You think you're going to have this glorious life? Where are you going to live? What, you think you're going to live on the tropical islands that have all the good meat and jets and boats and stuff? You think you're going to be with those people? No, you're not.
No,
you're going to be right here, and your family's going to be right here in the mess you made, you helped made, all for the dollars for a good life right now.
And you know, I laugh because when you talk about Kamala Harris and her being vice president and democracy and being anointed and everything against anything to do with democracy, and now Biden says that he wants to do the Supreme Court. I mean, they'll never go through, but he's coming up with all this wacky stuff.
Well, he's not.
No, somebody is.
Yeah.
And he's just a puppet. He's still a puppet, a lame duck puppet.
He just wanted to be president. That was his goal his entire life.
He's a wacko too. 50 years of nothing.
Zero.
Never had a job.
Yeah, caught lying, lie after lie after lie. How many times did he plagiarize other great leaders' speeches, including somebody from Canada, right?
Yes.
But it's all okay.
Hey, never mind. His Uncle Bosie got eaten by cannibals. How about that one?
Uncle Bosie.
Anyway, I got to take a break here just to talk about Hamilton glowstone lighting, Peter, and then we'll get back to some other stuff going on. You go through a neighborhood at night. You see these houses lit up beautifully, and you go, where the hell did they get these lights? They're just beautiful. Well, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, the leader in permanent outdoor lighting. Now, you call Hamilton Glowstone Lighting to get your house lit up. They're going to come in. They're going to put all these lights on, and they're controlled from your phone. You control the whole procedure from your phone, lighting them up a million different colors. The actual lights are sealed, soldered, impervious to dust and moisture. They're unbelievable. Peter's having a heck of a time over here. He's losing his lights. And
I need some so I can see.
In the daytime, you don't even see these lights on your house. They blend right in with your eavesdrops or your fascia or whatever the heck it's called. Yeah. So they do a fantastic job. A million different lights, red and green for Christmas. They're built in zones so you can have different colors. Red and green, red and white for Canada Day, purple for Prince's birthday.
Yeah.
My raspberry beret. You can have a raspberry if you want. But either way, it's going to make your house look valuable. It's going to make your house look beautiful. You're gonna add value to your house. You're going to light up those walkways that can be dangerous at night when they're dark.
You don't have to climb on your roof and hang stuff up in the middle of the cold winter.
Oh, I hate doing that. And then you got to take them down again because your neighbors say, look at this junk, all cords and everything hanging around. None of that anymore. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, called Colin Buckborough. He's the owner. 289-969-1797. Go to Glowstone Lighting, just like it sounds, GLOWSTONELIGHTING.com. And you can see some of the beautiful houses they've put these lights on, and they look spectacular. And I'm going to give you that number again. Colin Buckborough, 289-969-1797. He's going to give you a free estimate. And they even have financing. If you don't want to plop down a big bunch of money, or you want to Griswold your house, you want it to the max, you can come up with a monthly payment to be able to deal with that. You like that Griswold? Yeah, I saw you go like this to the camera. Yeah. Anyway, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, they sponsor the show. We advise that you support our sponsors. They're great people, and they will take care of you. Tell them Paul from your city, your voice sent you. So let's get back to Niagara for a minute here.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a question, and you give me an answer.
If I can, I will.
So yesterday on my show, I talked about a shortage of doctors and there being 140,000 people in the Niagara region without a doctor. Now, Niagara Falls is managed.
140,000?
Yeah, in the
That's
Niagara
a
region.
crazy number. Wow.
It's about a quarter of the Niagara region.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls has managed to attract 2 new doctors at a cost of $105,000. So it costs us $105,000 to procure 2 new doctors. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but let me just tell you about this now. In Welland, I'm talking Welland here,
Yeah, I know it well.
has attracted 5 and lately added a 6th in the last 8 months. They've got 6 new doctors in 8 months, 1 a month almost.
What'd that cost?
I don't know what it costs, but my question is, why are doctors choosing to ply their trade in Welland and not Niagara Falls? Why are they avoiding Niagara Falls in favor of a city like Welland? I find it odd, seeing we supposedly have so much to offer. Peter, why are doctors going to Welland, which I don't even like going into that town, to be honest with you? Why are they going to Welland, but they won't come to beautiful Niagara Falls with the falls and the parks and everything else?
Well, I think it's simple. Welland is starting to actually grow, and the places they're building look very, very nice, and they keep the aesthetics. It's actually a very clean city. Not a lot of traffic. Everything you need is there. You've got the beautiful canal that comes through it, that they've got some gorgeous parks, and they got the outdoor amphitheater and stuff like that. You don't have the pressure of the city. You don't have the tourists coming in. You don't have the lineups down Stanley Avenue and up to 420. And I think it's just more peaceful. I think you're more relaxed there. Here you're under stress. So yeah, and then thinking in the future, well, where's the hospital going to be?
Yep, the one for Montrose and Montrose and Lions Creek. Yeah.
So you're right in the middle. So it's for me, if I was a doctor coming here and drove around this city and went, yeah, I don't want it. Casinos, traffic, roads that look like they've been hit by people shooting shells off somewhere. So no, I think Welland has changed. When's the last time you were in Welland?
Oh, probably about 5 years ago.
It's changed. No, it really has. It's changed. I actually drive through there a lot. I go in and pick up stuff on my way to the trailer. So I actually like Welland. And I used to work in Welland because I used to work at a radio station.
Right.
People are nice. People are friendly. And it just seems to be what it's always been. It's the same culture over there. People get along. You got the Italians. You know what the biggest population in Welland is?
Well, French and Italian. What are the two?
Ukrainian.
No way.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I didn't know it either until I worked there.
Well, the one thing about Welland, and you can see it happening all the time, is, they got that plant there, and they got the canal, and they're fixing up along the canal really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And they have a mall, which Niagara Falls doesn't have. This, I think it's like the 3rd biggest mall in the Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah.
I think you got Maple
View.
Yeah, Maple View up in Burlington. Then you got, like something like a Lime Ridge, or what's it called?
Yeah, it is Lime Ridge, yes.
Lime Ridge Mall. Yeah. And then you got, Penn Center and Seaway Mall. I mean, they're all 4s are right there. They're the nicest ones. And Mike Belcastro's the guy who runs it, and he's a great guy. And he knows what he's doing. He keeps that mall full and keeps it hopping. And there's a lot going on in Welland as it is right now. I mean, it used to be kind of wonky, but like you're right, it has changed its whole demeanor, and so is Niagara.
And the planning is right. You're not just taking down farmland or trees and stuff. They're actually doing it in areas where it's kind of ratty. They've cleaned it up. They've built some great places, some great town housing and stuff. It looks really nice, and it's not just thrown together. Like you go down Keller Road, that just looks like barracks. They're just thrown out there, right?
Yeah.
So Welland's doing it different. There's some good thought in planning. Here it's I don't know. I can see why I truly can see why they went. And you're talking about malls. I was walking through the Penn Center. I got my haircut at my favorite place, the barber's chair there.
What's that?
The barber's chair.
No, what'd you get?
Penn Center. A little haircut.
What's that?
You don't know? Yeah.
Listen, I know.
You've forgotten, right?
I know not of what you speak.
It's been 65 years since you had one. So I was
haircut. I don't even know what that is.
I was walking through the mall. I go, this is so nice. It doesn't matter what the weather's like outside. This is so nice.
It is nice in that mall.
And then I was in the Seaway Mall a couple of weeks ago, and I go, this is so nice. Why did they take down the mall here? who wants to walk outside in the winter? Who wants to, go to Niagara Lake and walk outside with a wind tunnel there that just if there's a good wind, it's blowing you right down there. Like you've got a sailboat or something, right? So no, I think, I don't know why somebody tried to get rid of malls. I don't understand it because I actually love them all. And I don't like to shop, but I love malls.
Yeah, well, I mean, Penn Center, when it started, was an outdoor mall, and they
Yeah.
made it indoor real quick, and that's the flagship
It's
around
the
here.
appeal,
for
right?
sure.
Isn't that the appeal? And that's why it's still packed all the time.
Yeah, free parking, and you can get out of the weather.
Yeah.
You know, and Welland's downtown is kind of East Main Street. It's kind of shady, but it's getting better all the
fixing it up.
time. They're fixing it
Yeah,
up.
they're fixing it up.
Not unlike Niagara Falls, but you know, I was thinking I'm going to be a doctor, and I'm going to come and take a look.
You are at your age. That's great. No, I'm impressed.
Let's use an imaginary scenario.
Okay.
I'm going to be a doctor.
All right, I got it now. Yeah.
So I'm a young guy getting on a doctor school, right? And I hop on a train and come to Niagara Falls to see how Niagara Falls is, to get a feel for Niagara. I don't want to drive because it's a nightmare drive down here, so I'm going to take the train. So
what a great idea.
I come down and I get off on Bridge Street.
And you go, wow.
And I'm going like, did I just hit a time warp? I'm in Beirut now?
Yeah. It's terrible.
Like it's blown out empty fields, weeds all over the place, junky buildings, and
that tower that somebody built there, right? With the plastic wrapped around it.
Jody Burnett. That's his, and I think he did it just to PO the city council because he did it because he could, not because he wanted to. I'm sure of it. Because he does a lot of stuff to PO city council, right? But and then let's just take a little walk and we'll see what we got. We got burned out buildings on Erie Avenue. We got the meteor crater across the street.
We got the meteor crater where the bus terminal used to be.
Yeah. Then
City
you come down Queen Street. There's homeless guys with big shopping carts there. People crapping in the doorways. And by that time, you turn around. When's the next train out? Let's go to Welland. Let's go to Welland.
They're gonna have to get a GO train into Welland pretty soon. Believe me,
man,
it looks better.
And I don't know. I just don't understand how Welland can get 6 doctors in 8 months, and we get 2 in 8 months, and it costs us $105,000 to do it. But the money isn't the factor. I don't mind spending taxpayer dollars to get more doctors since we need doctors.
I think that's a little expensive though for a couple of doctors.
Well, it is, but I think the marketing in that was supposed to get more doctors, but they could have probably used some of the money to clean up some of these places, maybe.
Explain to me, because I need to understand. I used to own a marketing company, an advertising company. So explain to me what you're doing to spend $105,000 to get 2 doctors. Where's the cost? Well,
probably giving $50,000 to each doctor to come here.
That's the marketing.
Yeah, if you come on, we'll give you a $50,000 starter bonus. Well, why don't they do this? We got decrepit buildings in the downtown. Say, listen, we're going to give you this building rent-free for 5 years, right?
There's a great idea.
For 5 years. And you set up in here, and for 5 years, we won't charge you rent, right? This will be your office.
We build a parking lot in the crater.
Well,
right.
Well, we bring back the parking lot because that's what it was.
Yeah, but
before.
I mean multi-level, so that everybody can.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got lots of parking down here, and start fixing up this downtown. I'm telling you, I said yesterday, if there's anybody who wanted to run for mayor, tell everybody you're going to earmark $100 million for roads and $20 million to fix up the downtown over the next 5 years. Right, $100 million on roads. We're going to take. And then they say, Paul, we don't have the money. That's going to take us taxpayers. No, it isn't. We're going to take the casino funds for the next 5 years and dedicate it to roads. And then we're going to put on top of that any money from the province, any money from the feds for infrastructure. And we're going to fix these roads. The Jawbreaker, Portage Road fixed.
We're not going to build out until we've built in.
We fixed in, yes.
You start in, you work out.
That's right. And then $20 million to beautify Niagara Falls. Because an old politician once said, all a guy has to do when they're in office is keep the city clean and neat and tidy, safe. and fix the roads.
And safe.
And everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
And safe. Well, safe, I mean, that's where we got this Kamala Harris wants to defund the police. All the big cities in the States are gone. And we've been hearing that about Toronto police and everything else from these woke idiots.
Yeah, how's that experiment working in Toronto?
Not very good.
How's that handing out drugs working out in BC?
No good.
Yeah.
How's crime?
Shocking though.
Yeah. How's it working out in New York City? Rotten. Philadelphia, rotten. Chicago, rotten. LA, rotten. San Francisco, rotten. There's not one Democratic city, run city anyway, that is any good. They're all going the way of New York City. Crime is high. and they don't arrest anybody even for stealing under $1,000. If you steal under $1,000, you don't have to worry about it. You get a free pass.
So let's look at Niagara on the Lake,
Yeah,
St. Catharines, Grimsby, the push in Welland with their downtown cores. They're starting to look good. They attract people. People want to be. It's just got that nice feel. How many people you said, "Oh my gosh, I just love going down Niagara Lake. It feels so nice." Because it's got that old colonial feel. It's comfortable. It's
clean.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's nice roads.
Yeah, it's got flowers, flower boxes. And you go to Grimsby, very nice. You go look at St. Catharines. Look, they started to build into the core again, right? And it looks nice, and people enjoy it. I mean, I was down there for the Jelly Roll concert there. The streets were loaded with people. It was so nice to see.
There's the.
Are they coming for me?
Here's the Gestapo. Well, I laughed last week. I was out car getting a ticket here, and I'm going, they're getting a ticket, and it was Julio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his car was over front. I never knew it was his car. I would have yelled at the guy.
So I don't know. He's got his tail out on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
he's getting his pictures taken and everything.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Where's Jim's $35 pass? Everybody, go get one. Hurry up, so you can park.
Well, can you get a $35 pass now?
Yeah,
for the year.
Yes, you can park on city streets for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Not in lots though. You can't go to Yanks and park in that lot or anything. There goes Julio right now to move his car.
Well, I'm good for 2 hours. So.
Yeah, you're good for 2 hours. It's an hour and a half or whatever it is. But yeah, so like that's what we got to do in the city. We want to attract doctors and everything else. We got to clean up. I mean, look at the Meteor Crater. It looks like hell. You go down Bridge Street. There's weeds overgrown. So many
Bridge Street is really ugly.
People break in the bylaw by letting weeds grow in the yard. There's no bylaw officer to take care of it and go tell them to cut it or send a crew down, cut it, and put it on their taxes. That's how you beautify a city. And if it was me, mayor, I would automatically, it just sounds like I'm running for mayor, $100 million earmarked for roads, $20 million earmarked for beautification.
It's the guy, man.
But I would also immediately instruct city workers to grab garbage cans on wheels and start walking from River Road up to Victoria Avenue, and you pick up every piece of litter and every piece of crap, dog crap, I don't care what kind, and you keep this downtown clean. You go up one side and down the other every day. That's your job. And then put 2 more on each side of Victoria Avenue from Queen Street or Bridge Street all the way down to Center Street. That's your walk. Every day you pick up your can, one on each side, and all you do is clean stuff. And then you take pictures of overgrown lots and that. You send them so we can go. That would be my main thing. If you have to hire, 4 guys or get 4-year crew, and that's what they do all year.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in the summer, like from say May to October, April to October, to clean up this city.
How about bylaw enforcement instead of giving a guy like that a ticket who's not bothering anybody?
Yeah.
How about you go around to all the properties that aren't cutting their grass? It's like 4 feet high. How about you go and go there and
give them a ticket?
Yeah.
How about that? There, Julio, you just moved his car over here. But yeah, that's the one thing that people want: clean cities, safe cities, get the police on the action. But I mean, that's something that our city council could do. They don't need a mandate from anybody else. They get past these bylaws. They get past these budgetary items, and I'm telling you, that would go a long way to making this city beautiful. Especially when you earmark money, it's not willy nilly. Here are the bad roads. In the next 5 years, we're fixing them all. No excuses, no baloney. Portage Road has been like that for 3 years since they fixed Drummond Road.
And here's how I equate it. We have all sat in this city. My family's been here for several generations in Niagara Falls, born and raised. We've sat back, heard that we have to give up, be patient, pay taxes. We're going to build this great place. Streets are going to be paved in gold. It's our turn now. It's our turn now to be rewarded for the patience and what we've allowed to be built. A lot of it infringed on environmental situations, height, all kinds of things, even the park. We've done it. We've sat back. We've kept our mouths shut. Now we need a reward for what we've done. And part of that, most definitely, is a reduction in taxes or no increase, especially when you find out there's more money in the kitty than we thought they ever told us, right? I think it's 60 million worth. Isn't that 60 million?
Well, let me put it this way. 2023, they budgeted 14 million for the casino. They took in around 20, somewhere 18 to 20. So they budgeted only 14. So there's 5 or 6 million there. 2024, they did the same thing, 14 million, and we're on track right now to have about 22 million. So we've almost got 10 million. And then they sold Niagara Regional Broadband to Cogeco, and that has to be at least 50 million, maybe more, We don't know because nobody showed us any numbers. So we don't know. We own Niagara Region Broadband. The taxpayers, 75% of it, 25% was Niagara Lake, I believe. But we have a wad of money coming. That's all sitting there. We should get a 10% reduction next year.
And the transit.
And the transit we sold.
$7 million?
Oh, $7.5 million, but it's cost us double when the region took it over. It's supposed to be a break-even deal.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And of course, it cost $15 million, so we had to kick in another $7.5. And Lori Lococo was on that, Councilor Lococo. But City Council, add up all the numbers and tell us about our 10% tax decrease this year. And by the way, the budget is coming up. They're already talking about it. It comes up, the capital budget in December, November, December, the end of November, December, and the operating budget comes in towards the end of January. So I am going to be watching it like a hawk. And you know what? You should too. It's your money. And we've got lots of money in this city. I mean, I remember last year, Victor Peterangelo stood up and said, all our money that we needed for the hospital, we've already given it. We don't need to put 1.3 million more. So I'm going, great. They can give it back to the taxpayers.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Tiffany Clark stood up, the finance director, stood up and said, well, no, I don't want to give it back to the people. I want to put it in the reserve for equipment. And in the budget was $14 million, the capital budget for new equipment. So they want to build up their reserves again. And I'm going, for one stinking year, Tiffany, one stinking year.
Yeah. And
give us our money back.
The suffering that people have gone through with the COVID situation, not having jobs, not being able to work, and now you want to penalize. It's like when you're down, just keep kicking.
Just keep kicking.
Booting them hard. It's all crap. Speaking of that, there's a lot of stuff on the news about pooping and where people are pooping.
What, did you see that?
Oh, I saw.
Well, you can go right down Queen Street and see that. These guys crap everywhere. They're trying to turn Canada into where they came from. I mean,
unreal.
You remember Russell Peters said, his father said, go back to India, see where you came from. Remember what he said when he got off the plane?
Yeah. Okay. And now you've got, the people have come from India, who've come, joined the culture, and still allowed to, in your house, in your wherever you're going, your halls and stuff, you can celebrate your cultures like we've always been able to do, right? I've stood up and said, look, these people they're not us. We came here to have a better life. They're not us. Because their beach, I guess, Wasaga Beach was just inundated with people digging holes and doing their stuff.
Yeah.
And the one lady has had it happen 4 or 5 times, called the police, they wouldn't come, went to the mayor. You know what the mayor said? Well, we've heard about these things possibly happening. I know just across the street from where my brother-in-law lives. He has a good friend that runs she works at one of the concessions or a corner store. She works at the corner store.
Okay. And
one person walked in there, a lady dressed to the nines to the top of the head, gets in this pose, and she goes, "What are you doing over there?" She goes, "What do you mean? What are you doing over there?" Well, what do you think she was doing?
Crapping.
And so she said, "You're going to clean that up." She goes, "You're a racist." She goes, "No, I'm not a racist. But you're going to clean that up." And she made her clean it up.
No, I'm a shovelist.
Yeah, I'm a shovelist.
Here's the shovel. Yeah. Now get over there and shovel.
It's just like if you can't join our culture, and I don't care where you're from, then you don't belong here. Yeah. If you didn't come here to join us, but to carry on what you have, that kind of stuff doesn't work. And we can't turn a blind eye to it either. Because first of all, your kids can be playing in the sand or touching stuff, okay?
Oh, nasty.
Never think of the kids. Or, walking in, it's on your feet. You're walking on the beach, you're walking in bare feet. And the next thing you know, it's, you got a little extra energy on the bottom of your feet that smells. So, it's...
Well, and just a little disclaimer here. Not all Indians who come to Canada
even close. No,
are like that.
I have a lot of Indian friends.
Oh, me too. And there's a lot of them that come here and they assimilate and they work and they have jobs and they're good people, solid people. I'm proud to have them as Canadians.
Good culture, good food.
Exactly.
But I was explained over the weekend by somebody of that culture who said what it is that's the elites who believe there are people that should come and clean the stuff up
for them that
are lowers.
The lower caste.
Yes. So that's the thinking.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't work here.
Anyway, you know what? I think on poop, I think it's time to end the show on poop.
It's been a crappy show.
It's been. I know it'd be better to end it on the beautiful day, but we got to end on poop. I mean, what the hell? That's what we're looking at in the world. Why not?
But there is hope. Let's just say there is hope if we stand up for ourselves.
Oh, you can change poop into hope by changing just a few letters, right?
Yeah, exactly. See? It works.
It works. Anyway, my name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's been a pleasure to do the show. It's a pleasure to have Peter Dychtiar in. We always get into some crazy stuff. But to tell you the truth, these aren't conspiracy theories or anything. It's the stuff that's going on today.
Well, it always starts out as a conspiracy, but then it ends up being true. But nobody ever acknowledges that.
No,
right?
No, you're a conspiracy theorist. But at the end of the day, when you're right, nobody says, oh, he was right.
Yeah, just stay true to yourselves and what you believe and stand up and don't be afraid to say it.
That's right. Speak out. And especially when it comes to city stuff. I mean, I'm always on this taxpayer stuff. It's your money they're spending. Keep an eye on them. Listen, would you give just some stranger $5,000? Say, here, take this and do what's best for me. No, they're not going to. They're going to do what's best for them. And it's no different. We elect these people to do what's best for us. They don't always do what's best for us, and we got to keep on them. That's why I say get out and vote. Watch your money. When they have city council meetings, see what they're spending your money on. If you don't like it, say something.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody, it's too boring. I can't watch it. Well, okay, then you get what you
get.
Yeah.
And that's what they say. People get the government they deserve.
Absolutely, they do.
They really do.
Yeah.
On that note, my name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls. We are signing off. Have a great day, everybody. It's 90 degrees. Find a cool drink. Find a nice shady tree. Kick back and enjoy this weather because in 2 months we're going to be going, geez, I wish it was the July 30th and 90 degrees again, right? So anyway, hey, you guys, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget our sponsors, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting and Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.
God bless.